Thank you so much for joining us tonight on WCBI News at 9. I'm Kamari Hamer. A judge in Lafayette County dismisses a charge against Timothy Harrington. Last month, Harrington was indicted for capital murder and tampering with physical evidence. Judge Kelly Luther has dismissed the tampering with physical evidence charge. Harrington's lawyers claim the statute of limitations passed on the alleged crime, which would have reportedly happened around July 8, 2022. Now, law requires the crime to be prosecuted within 2 years. Harrington still faces a capital murder charge. He is accused of killing Jimmy J. Lee in July of 2022. Prosecutors allege Harrington was trying to cover up a relationship between the men. Now, Lee's remains were found on February 1st in Carroll County. Harrington was recently denied bond and remains in jail. Well, there's just about a month remaining in the 2025 legislative session, and tax reform is one of the main pending issues. Statewide reporter Courtney Ann Jackson gets into the basics of how your wallet could notice a difference if reforms clear all the legislative hurdles.
Politics aside, Ole Miss Economics Department Chair Dr. Josh Hendrickson is making this observation on the competing tax reform plans.
Well, what I would say is, like, this time around, their proposals are remarkably similar.
When you drill down to what it could mean for you and your wallet, if either plan makes it across the finish line with all its elements intact,
I think that the grocery tax and the gas tax, those will probably be the things that people notice most.
As a reminder, both the House and Senate plans would reduce the grocery tax but increase the amount you pay at the pump. But the income tax is a big sticking point between the chambers. The House wants to phase it out completely over the course of 10 years. Meanwhile, the Senate is proposing reducing it as part of a 4-year plan. Hendrickson says there's another way to figure out a more direct impact the reforms could have on you.
It's a good time to kind of reflect on, looking at that pay stub and seeing how much money is coming out of the pay stub, because I think a lot of us get used to just, it gets taken out. You're not necessarily until tax time. So I guess we're coming up on tax time here. People don't really notice exactly how much that they're paying. And so, if you take a look at that tax stub, that'll give you a sense of how much money that you would save under these plans.
Under both plans, you'd pay less in some taxes and more in others.
The issue is I think that whenever you're sort of lowering one tax and raising another tax, I think people have a tendency to think, well, this is just kind of a wash, right? But the objective here is, by simplifying the tax code, you're hoping that that's not a wash, right? So what should happen is that people will end up at the end of the day having more money in their pocket.
Courtney Ann Jackson, 3 on your side.
Well, a Starkville man is killed in an early morning apartment fire. Oktibbeha County Coroner Michael Hunt says the fire happened at 100 West Main Street, apartment number 2. 72-year-old Rodney Jenkins called 911 just before 4 o'clock this morning for help and said he was on fire. Now, the wheelchair-bound man died by the time firefighters arrived at the apartment. Hunt says Jenkins' death appears to be accidental, but is still under investigation. The state fire marshal will assist and an autopsy will be performed.
Well, things are nice and quiet for us on the radar. Just seeing some cloud cover pass through the region. What you see behind me here, this is just an erroneous return on the data on the radar. No rain actually falling here in northeast Mississippi, and we're still holding on to a good bit of the heat we saw this afternoon. Still sitting at 68 in Columbus, 64 Starkville, 64 West Point, 65 Bruce, and 65 over in Kosciuszko. So a mild night ahead, certainly quiet, and be on the lookout for a couple spotty sprinkles. Kamari?
Well, thank you so much, Charlie. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency releases new damage numbers from the storm system that swept through the state this week. Clark, Harrison, Madison, Perry, Warren, and Wayne counties are reporting damage to homes. In all, 14 homes and 6 farms were impacted from this week's storm. The National Weather Service says an EF2 tornado hit Wayne County and an EF1 hit George County. 3 deaths and 7 injuries have been reported. Well, some drivers in West Point may have to find another route on Monday morning. The Mississippi Department of Transportation is replacing a culvert on Highway 50. It will be near the Dollar General and the USDA building. If you are traveling between West Point and Columbus, you're asked to use Churchill Road and Herman Shirley Road as an alternate route. Clay County did not say how long the work may take on the route. Well, President Donald Trump has made several changes during the 2 months he's been in office, and now he's trying to make another change that could impact college students. Trump is planning to start taking the first steps to eliminate the Department of Education. The Department of Education distributes billions of dollars in federal money to colleges and schools, and it also manages the federal student loan portfolio. Now, students from Mississippi University for Women say if the Department of Education was to be eliminated, it would put a huge strain on their ability to get a college degree. Well, a historic building on the Mississippi State University campus is getting a new look, and I'll tell you more about it when we come back from the break. All right, welcome back in, everyone. A historic building on the Mississippi State University campus is getting a brand new look. Administrators, faculty, students, and guests were on hand for the grand reopening of Ballou Hall. The newly renovated building will house the administrative offices for the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences and the Mississippi Agricultural and Forestry Experiment Station, or MAFIS. It will also feature a state-of-the-art classrooms and conference rooms. Mississippi State University President Dr. Mark Keenum says bringing the historic building into the modern era benefits students and ties them to school traditions.
We wanted to keep that tradition. We wanted to provide an opportunity for students to continue to be able to learn and utilize this, but also meet critical needs we have for the administration of our wonderful college and our experiment station to serve our mission of agriculture and forestry and veterinary medicine and natural resources for the entire state of Mississippi.
And the revived Ballou Hall also features a spacious auditorium named in memory of longtime animal and dairy sciences professor Leroy Boyd. Well, a low-cost option for people who need to spay or neuter their pet will soon be available in Lee County. A nonprofit called the SNP Station will provide affordable, high-quality spay and neuter services for low-income pet owners. Now, the SNP Station has a building in Verona that will serve as a clinic 2 days out of the week once all furniture and equipment has been moved in and set up. Now, the SNP Station will partner with local veterinarians to provide the services. The goal is to provide affordable services while reducing the stray pet population.
We all see them on the side of the road. We all see them starving. We all see it, and none of us want to see that, and that's what we want to prevent. We want to prevent so many strays being out there, and we want to keep animals in homes, and we want to help shelters and rescues move through more of these stray animals and just try to decrease the population overall.
And organizers hope to have SNP Station open by next month. The Hall Foundation donated $20,000 to the SNP Foundation during a luncheon. For more information, go to our website at WCBI.com.
Our next rain chance is on the way. It starts for us late tonight, goes into the weekend. I'll go ahead and track out the rest of your weekend forecast and tell you when the big warm-up's coming up. All that and more after the break.
All right, welcome back in, everyone. This week was National Read Across America Week, and students in Columbus got to hear a lot of reading, and they also had a chance to read to others. People from the community and city employees went to several schools throughout the district reading and listening to children read. The theme of Read Across America was Kissing the Pig, and Mayor Keith Gaskin did kiss a pig today. Director for the City of Columbus Community Outreach, Leonardo Dismuke, says the goal was to improve the reading level for all children.
You know, education is the key. It's the key to us getting better everything. And so we just want to promote that, that we want the kids to be readers, and we want them reading, and we want them at the top of the reading. So that's what we push. And we want them to have a spring break, but we want them better readers. We don't want to be last. We don't want to be next to last or anywhere close to it as a state. You know, we want our kids reading better. And the way you do it is you have to practice. You have to start early, and that's what's going on. So we want to promote every aspect of education.
All right, and the pig kissing ceremony was held at Franklin Academy Elementary. Well, stick around. Vibe Checked is next. All right, though, welcome back in, Charlie. It's our first Vibe Check together. You ready for it, Charlie?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Well, Let's get to it then. Dolly Parton has honored her late husband with a new song. I think that's pretty cool. Carl Dean, who died Monday at the age of 82, was with Parton for 60 years, man. That is a long time to be with somebody.
On Friday, Parton released the track If You Hadn't Been There, which she dedicated to Dean. In a social media post, the legendary singer-songwriter said that Dean, quote, will always be the star of my life story. Despite her decades of stardom, Dean largely stayed out of the spotlight. Parton said some of her biggest hits, including Just Because I Am a Woman and Jolene, were inspired by Dean.
I think that's pretty cool that she, dedicated a song to her partner. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like that. It's going to be weird. I'm going to Dollywood this week, so it's going to be interesting to see what that's like. Might be a somber feeling there.
Yeah, I think that'll be pretty cool, though. She had been with this person for 60 years. That is a long time. Yeah, that's a long time. Let's get to the next one. Well, dance floors are getting ready to heat up this weekend. Lady Gaga's anticipated new album is now available. Mayhem dropped on Friday. The 3 singles released prior to the full-length offer a glimpse into what fans should be expecting.
This is a return to form for Gaga and has been compared to previous albums Born This Way and The Fame Monster. She executive produced it herself alongside fiancé Michael Polanski and Andrew Watt. Mayhem appears to be timed exceptionally well as it enters a welcome musical ecosystem. Dance acts like Charlie XCX and Chappell Roan have seen enormous success in the past few months.
Yeah, I think that's also pretty cool as well. You're seeing people doing all these things, all of these artists and these dancers, they're doing all these things, dedicating all these things. Just tell me what you think about it. I haven't really listened to Lady Gaga a whole lot, to be honest.
Growing up, I was kind of into it whenever we would, my mom would be driving us around in the car. Poker Face had come on, or another one of her big hits. But she's also been in a lot of movies I've really liked. There was one about the Gucci family, I believe, and I really liked that movie.
Yeah, she has played in a lot of movies. She's a woman of many talents.
Yeah.
She has played in a lot of movies, and a lot of movies that she played in have been pretty good. Let's get to the next one. The next one is about Amazon. A week-long boycott against shopping on Amazon has begun. The movement started by the People's Union USA was started to send a quote called a message loud enough to shake up the system. Organizers claim that Amazon hurts small businesses and exploit its workforce. In addition to Amazon, the union is also pushing for people to avoid the other companies owned by the retail giant, which includes Ring, Whole Foods, and Prime Video. Last week, the grassroots group called for people to not shop at major chains for 24 hours, and it went viral.
Amazon has not issued a comment on the matter. Well, Kamari, I didn't know about this, so I didn't participate in this. Did you happen to participate?
Yeah, actually, I did a story on this on last Friday. Like you said, you don't really know much about it. So last Friday, I talked with a small business owner. Last Friday was considered a blackout Friday. So basically, it was just to avoid shopping at bigger stores like the Kroger, the Target, the Walmart, and to kind of put some money back into small businesses. It was just to do that one day. And I actually did a story on a lady, I cannot think, Sweet Personality, down in Columbus. It's a little small business. I just kind of talked to them about their day. So just tell me, what do you think about something like that that kind of takes money away from, I guess not really taking money away, but kind of taking a day off from shopping at like a Kroger or Target, all these stores, like Amazon, these bigger stores, and putting that money into a small business.
Yeah, I really like it. I often find myself spending needless money in Sprint Marts fairly often. Yeah. I tend to get like an energy drink a day or just things I don't need, but I tend to find myself in those big stores all the time, and I'm always spending money on something. Probably not a great habit, but I probably should have known about this event and probably should have done something with it. Maybe I could have gone to a family-owned gas station instead or something.
It's funny that you say that Sprint Mart. I spend a lot of money too. I love me some pizza sticks from Sprint Mart, especially when they're fresh.
But my problem is I love those Little Debbie snack cakes. If I see one of those, I'm probably gonna buy one.
Man, when I go into Spring Mart, if I see a piece of steak, I can't even help but, to go get one. They also have I didn't know how good their nuggets were. Their chicken nuggets are really, really good too. They got some good food overall.
My roommate has their chicken tenders about once a week, so yeah.
Yeah, so we really needed that day. Well, thank you for joining us on Vibe Check. The 9:30 is next.